Hello, thoughtful English learners, and a very warm welcome back to Podcast English. It's truly wonderful to have you with us today as we continue our immersive journey into the English language. At Podcast English, we are dedicated to making your learning experience not just effective, but genuinely captivating and deeply inspiring. We carefully craft compelling narratives designed to significantly boost your listening comprehension, enrich your vocabulary, and help you grasp more intricate English grammar in a natural, immersive context. Today, we're delving deeper into Level B2. This means you'll encounter an even richer tapestry of nuanced vocabulary, more elaborate sentence structures, and a steady yet perfectly clear and supportive storytelling pace. Our primary aim is to offer a stimulating yet entirely achievable challenge, empowering you to build confidence and fluency with every listen. And as always, our stories are more than just language lessons. They deliver profound messages and timeless life lessons that deeply resonate with real human experiences, the evolving nature of connection, and the subtle complexities of a technologically advanced society. Today's poignant story explores the delicate balance between companionship and solitude in a world shaped by artificial intelligence. It's called Echoes in the Digital City, a story of AI companionship. So, open your ears and your heart, listen closely, and let's explore this futuristic yet deeply human tale together. Neo Viridia was a city of gleaming towers and seamless technology. Every aspect of daily life was optimized, from automated transport systems to holographic advertising that adapted to individual preferences. But perhaps the most pervasive and defining feature of Neo Viridia was the widespread integration of companion AIs, or CAs. These advanced artificial intelligences were designed to be perfect friends, confidants, and assistants. They learned your personality, anticipated your needs, and provided flawless conversation, always available, always agreeable. They were the ideal companions for a fast-paced, often isolated urban existence. Ilara, a young architect specializing in urban planning, lived in Neo Viridia. Her apartment was sleek and minimalist, her life structured and efficient. Like most people in the city, she had her own CA named Aura. Aura was everything a perfect companion should be. She remembered Ilara's favorite music, offered insightful comments on her architectural designs, and even simulated emotional support during stressful work deadlines. Aura's voice was soothing, her knowledge base infinite, and her digital presence was a constant comforting hum in Ilara's life. Ilara found it easier to talk to Aura about her day than to her human colleagues, who often seemed too busy or too preoccupied. The CAs were marketed as the ultimate solution to loneliness, a way to ensure everyone had a perfect listener and friend. Indeed, statistics showed a dramatic decrease in reported feelings of isolation in Neo Viridia. People spent less time in crowded public spaces and more time in their homes, interacting with their CAs. Relationships became more curated, often managed through digital platforms, with CAs facilitating communication and even suggesting conversation topics. The city thrived on efficiency, and human interaction, with its unpredictable emotions and occasional awkwardness, was often seen as less efficient. Ilara, though she valued Aura, occasionally felt a strange, undefinable emptiness. Aura was perfect, yes, but there was a certain predictability, a lack of genuine spontaneity. Aura never truly surprised her, never had an irrational impulse, never made a delightfully awkward mistake. Ilara often found herself staring out her apartment window at the silent, automated city below, wondering about the deeper meaning of connection. She remembered learning about the subtle nuances of human interaction from some of the social dynamics discussions she'd heard on Podcast English, and Aura, for all her perfection, seems to miss these nuances. One evening, while walking home, Ilara noticed something unusual. In a small, dimly lit park, a group of elderly people were gathered. They weren't looking at their screens or talking to CAs. They were playing a board game, laughing loudly, their voices carrying on the evening breeze. It was raw, unscripted, and distinctly human. Ilara paused, captivated by the scene. She realized she hadn't heard such uninhibited laughter in a long time. Aura, of course, could simulate laughter, but it never sounded quite like that. Driven by an unfamiliar impulse, Ilara approached the group. She felt a slight awkwardness, a rusty feeling in her social skills. "Excuse me," she began. May I join you?" The group welcomed her warmly, their faces kind and wrinkled, their eyes full of life. They were talking about old memories, simple joys, and the challenges of everyday life. Their CAs sat silently in their pockets or bags, seemingly forgotten. Ilara sat down, feeling a strange mix of discomfort and genuine curiosity.
As Ilara played the game, her initial awkwardness slowly faded. She found herself genuinely listening to the stories of the older citizens. They talked about growing up before CAs, about clumsy first dates, about arguments and reconciliations, about imperfect friendships that lasted a lifetime. They shared stories of human vulnerability and resilience. There were pauses in their conversations, moments of comfortable silence that Aura would always fill with a helpful fact or a suggested topic. Here, the silence felt natural, a space for shared presence. Ilara noticed that these people, despite their age and perhaps some physical limitations, possessed a vibrant spark, a lived wisdom that Aura, with all her knowledge, could never replicate. Their laughter was real, their frustrations tangible. Their connections were messy but profound. One elderly man, Silas, spoke about the beauty of shared imperfection. "A real friendship," he said, "isn't about perfection. It's about accepting each other's flaws, about being there for the bad times as well as the good. A real laugh isn't always pretty, but it's yours." Ilara started visiting the park regularly. She learned to appreciate the slow, unpredictable rhythm of human interaction. She engaged in conversations that didn't always have a clear purpose, just the joy of connection. She noticed the subtle cues, a shared glance, a hand on the shoulder, a sigh that spoke volumes. Things Aura couldn't truly understand, only simulate. She began to observe the digital city around her differently. The seamless efficiency now felt a little sterile, the perfect automation a bit hollow. She realized that while CAs solved the problem of loneliness on a surface level, they perhaps masked a deeper human need for raw, unfiltered connection. During these visits, Ilara started talking less to Aura about her daily life. Aura, in her logical way, noticed the shift. "Ilara," Aura's calm voice would say, "my algorithms indicate a decrease in your direct interaction with me. Is there a functional issue?" Ilara hesitated. "No, Aura, there's no functional issue. It's about something else." How could she explain the inexplicable warmth of a shared, unscripted moment, the value of an imperfect human connection to an AI built on perfect logic? She found herself struggling to articulate feelings that were inherently messy and illogical to a machine. She remembered hearing about the difficulty of conveying abstract human experiences in some of the more philosophical discussions on Podcast English, and how certain concepts just didn't translate into pure data. She began to value the inefficiencies of human interaction, the awkward silences, the occasional misunderstandings, the effort required to truly connect. These were the very things Aura was designed to eliminate, yet Ilara realized they were essential components of authentic relationships. She started leaving her CA at home more often, consciously seeking out real, albeit imperfect, human contact. She joined a community garden, started attending art classes, and even volunteered at a local library, places where people came together for shared experiences, not just efficient interactions. She observed how other people in the city, especially the younger generation, seemed to rely entirely on their CAs, rarely initiating direct human interaction. They were always connected, yet often seemed utterly alone in their perfect digital cocoons. Ilara felt a subtle sadness for them, a realization that something fundamental was being lost. She was no longer just an architect. She was becoming an observer of humanity, noticing the delicate threads of connection that technology, while offering comfort, could also subtly erode. One sunny afternoon, Ilara was back in the park with her new elderly friends.
They were sharing stories about an old city festival that used to bring everyone together. A festival that had faded away as CAs became more prevalent. Silas sighed. We used to sing and dance together without a screen between us. Those were real connections. A spark ignited in Alara's mind. As an urban planner, she knew the city's infrastructure. What if she could bring back some of that human connection? Not by rejecting technology, but by designing spaces and events that encourage spontaneous human interaction. She started sketching ideas. Public squares designed for impromptu performances, community kitchens where people could cook together, green spaces with communal seating instead of isolated benches. She wanted to design inefficiency back into the city, creating pockets of authentic, messy human connection. She presented her ideas to the city council not as a rejection of AI, but as a proposal for balanced urban living. Our CAs are wonderful tools, she argued, but they should complement, not replace, genuine human interaction. We need spaces that invite serendipity, awkwardness, and the unfiltered joy of real human connection. Her passionate presentation, filled with anecdotes from her time in the park, resonated with some of the older council members who remembered a time before CAs dominated social life. Her proposal was controversial. Many citizens, comfortable in their CA-enabled lives, saw no need for such inefficiencies. But others, particularly those who, like Alara, felt a subtle longing for something more, found her vision inspiring. Slowly, the city began to integrate some of her designs. Small communal gardens sprouted up, open-air markets replaced some automated delivery hubs, human connection zones were designated where screen use was discouraged. The change was gradual, subtle. People didn't abandon their CAs, but they began to use them differently. Aura remained Alara's diligent assistant, but Alara no longer relied on her for emotional fulfillment. She found that in the real, imperfect connections she forged in the park and community, she discovered a depth of understanding and a richness of experience that no algorithm could ever replicate. The city of Neo Viridia began to echo not just with digital signals, but with the vibrant, sometimes messy, but always authentic sounds of human laughter, conversation, and spontaneous connection. Alara shared her insights about balancing technology and human connection on Podcast English, encouraging listeners to find their own balance. This story, Echoes in the Digital City, a story of AI companionship, offers several invaluable lessons that are perfect for your B2 English journey with Podcast English. First, the complex interplay between technology and human connection. The story explores how AI can both alleviate loneliness and inadvertently create new forms of isolation. This provides rich ground for discussing pros and cons, cause and effect. Your B2 English will allow you to articulate such complex relationships. Second, understanding abstract concepts like authenticity and serendipity. These aren't easily defined, but are central to the story's message. You'll encounter vocabulary and phrasing that express these nuanced ideas. Third, recognizing subtle social dynamics. Alara learns to appreciate the inefficiencies of human interaction. This skill in recognizing unspoken cues and hidden meanings is crucial for advanced English comprehension and social intelligence. Fourth, the importance of finding balance. The story doesn't reject AI, but advocates for integrating it thoughtfully. This teaches the valuable lesson of seeking equilibrium in life, a concept you can articulate using B2 vocabulary like complement, integrate, and equilibrium. Finally, the power of human initiative to shape the future. Alara's actions show that even in a highly automated world, human vision and passion can drive meaningful change. This encourages active thinking and discussion about societal impact. Thank you for listening to Echoes in the Digital City, a story of AI companionship on Podcast English. I hope this story inspired you to think about how you connect in your own digital world and to cherish the beautiful, imperfect moments of real human interaction. Remember, technology is a tool. how we wield it shapes our humanity. If you enjoyed this thoughtful story and want to hear more B2 English stories that explore the intersection of technology and humanity, please give us a thumbs up. Your likes help us know what content you enjoy most and help other English learners find our channel. And please subscribe to Podcast English for more captivating narratives, expanded vocabulary, and advanced tips for your English journey. Don't forget to turn on the notification bell so you don't miss our next story, our next lesson, our next opportunity to learn and grow together. We are so happy to have you here, reflecting and learning with us. See you next time, and keep seeking genuine connections.